myself back. Now I recognize Mr. Gomez from California for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. I want to just get to the point. I want to start off by making sure we're speaking the same language, Mr. Ambassador. Do you agree that tariffs are a tax, yes or no?
They're a tax on foreign goods.
Okay, so I'm glad you're here to say that, because also economists say that 98% of that tax is passed on to the American consumer, right? 98 to 99% is passed on to the American consumer in higher prices. And it's going to fall disproportionately, especially on working Americans. So higher costs when it comes to food. 40% of our produce are produced out of the country. Cars, clothes, shoes, household goods, all of it. And yesterday, you said, quote, there'll be some short-term pain. I want to know, and I think my constituents want to know, how long is short-term pain going to last? Is it 24 months?
I don't think it's 24 months, no.
2 years?
I don't think it's 2 years.
The reason why, is it 3 years? Is it a month? Because here's the thing, you also said yesterday, the other thing you did say yesterday, is you said the trade deficit grew over 30 years. It didn't happen overnight, so this problem is not going to be solved overnight. So you're saying on one hand, it's not going to be solved overnight, but then the long-term pain, it's going to be short-term pain. That doesn't compute. People don't believe it. And here's the thing, just yesterday, it was said that it was going to be a $3,800 a year increase falling on working families and the cost of higher prices. It increased to $4,600. We had to actually cross that out because we made this board yesterday. What is the tax increase going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be $5,200? So, and the reason why is that we have different definitions of short-term pain. What was your last, before beginning confirm at USTR, where did you work?
I worked at King & Spalding.
King & Spalding. How much does a partner make at King & Spalding?
Well, it depends on a lot of different factors. But
so I can pull up your financial disclosure. I don't have it in front of me. But one of the things that we're shown, it's about $1.5 million. My constituents don't make that. The average American consumer doesn't make that. The way we do it is every single month, we look at our budgets and see how much we spent, and then actually have to decide what do we have to pull back on.
I grew up in a mobile home working several jobs.
So here's
I know what it means.
Here's the thing. You
in
also
a mobile home.
You also have a cabinet of billionaires. You have Lucknick, you have Bessent, you have the president himself, you have Elon Musk, Donald Trump, who has billions. So for them, $4,600 doesn't mean anything. But for the average worker, it does. So this is where I say, you guys are out of touch when it comes to things. And I recognize you're working a lot of different jobs. So I'm going to move on to ask a question. In your testimony, you said Ms. Sanchez said you are the acting head of special counsel. Aren't you also the acting head of the Office of Government Ethics?
I was recently assigned to that position, yes.
Correct.
Mr. Gomez.
So let me get this straight. You are the chief USTR representative, the active chief of ethics. You're also the chief whistleblower, and now you're leading negotiations of 70 countries. So where's your priority? Those other jobs, or is it the trade agenda?
Well, my first job is USTR, and we have staff at the other agencies
so
to help
the reason why it doesn't seem right, here's why. Because I've learned over the years, if you want to make somebody feel special, you give them more titles. Because in the end, who did Donald Trump said was actually running the trade agenda?
Well, the
Commerce Secretary Lucknick, that's who he said. Here's another question. Are you using Signal to communicate with the executive branch? Yes or no?
With the community, we do some logistics from time to time.
Okay. Well, make sure you're as required by the Presidential Records Act and Federal Records Acts that you're submitting those for posterity.
We'll talk to our general counsel to see what's required by law.
Also, do you still stand by the formula that was used to assign the tariffs?
Oh yeah, the White House economist. Yeah, it's driven by the deficit.
Okay. The reason why is that conservative economists have said that this formula was actually, there's miscalculations in the formula. That some people are even saying that it was ChatGPT was used to come up with the formula.
That's not true at all.
So
it's completely false.
Here's the reason.
It's completely false that ChatGPT was used.
The reason why is nobody has confidence in what you're doing, because you're basically, you guys are saying, trust us. Trust that's going to be short-term pain. But here's what we see. We see a plan that doesn't make any sense, a formula that has flaws in it that people have torn apart, that you've seen the price increase in the stock market crashing and red lights blinking on a recession. So, and then you impose tariffs on an island that is inhabited by penguins. So the consumer confidence is plummeting, and it's going down, down, down. And you guys are saying, trust us, that the Republicans, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and you guys know what you're doing. So that doesn't pass the smell test. It doesn't make any sense. We worked on other issues before, and I hope we can work on other issues moving forward. But you guys need to be straight on who's running the show, because this is going to fall and hurt the American worker. With that, I yield back.